Now we will learn some important rules for gap filling. So first of all, we will learn how to use noun or different persuasive speech as gap fillers. So now look, if we have article before the gap, we must use noun. That means after article we have to use noun. That means here is article A, then we have to use boy noun, such as a girl, a cow, like this. So at the same time, we can say before article. That means before noun. Before noun, if there is gap, we also can use article. There are two rules. What first one is after article we have to use noun, and before noun we can use article. Number 2, article plus adjective plus noun. That means if we have gap after adjective, we have to use noun form. That means first of all article, then adjective, and then noun. In the gap we have to use noun. A brilliant boy. Here boy is noun, brilliant is adjective. We may have gap in adjective or we may have gap in here. That means if we have gap after adjective, then we use noun. If we have gap before noun, we will use adjective. This is very funny and very interesting, I think. Two rules together. If we have gap after noun, after adjective, we will use noun. If we have gap before noun, we will use adjective. Such as we may have like this: a girl. Here girl is noun, and before noun we have gap. We can use beautiful, that is adjective form. So if we have gap before noun, we will use adjective. A beautiful girl. Here beautiful is adjective form. So rules number 3, preposition plus noun and again preposition. That means if we have gap after preposition and before preposition, we must use noun. If we have gap after preposition and before preposition, in the gap we have to use noun. Look at the example. The causes of destruction of forest are many. Here of preposition, and in between these two prepositions we have gap, and in the gap we use noun form, destruction. So now look at rules number 4. If we have gap at the beginning of the sentence, very important rule. If we have gap at the beginning of the sentence, very often we use noun or gerund, or we can say as the subject form of verb. As the subject form of verb, we use noun or gerund. Look at the example. Walking is a good exercise. Here gap is is at the beginning of the sentence. Is a verb. Walking now used as noun. And we also say that in place of noun sometimes we use gerund. We know gerund means ing form of verb which act as a noun. The verb which act as a noun after adding ing, that is called gerund. Such as swimming is a good exercise. So rules number 5, determiner plus noun. That means after determiner, if we have gap, we also use noun. And first of all, we have to know what is determiner. Determiner means article. That means as a determiner, we can use article. We have learned it before. And we can use some, many. We can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. That means number we can use as determiner. So after determiner, we have to use noun form. Look at the example. Here many is a determiner, and after many we used qualities. It is a noun form. That means a good student has many qualities. Now look at rules number 6. This is use of adjective form. If we have be verb, that means auxiliary verb, am, is, are, was, were, and then if we have gap after and then preposition, that means after the verb and before preposition we have gap, we use adjective form. Look at the example. He is dot at English. He is auxiliary verb, at is preposition, and after auxiliary verb and before preposition we have used adjective form. That is, he is good at English. So the rules is after be verb and before preposition, if we have gap, we must use adjective form. This is very important. Now rules number 7, adverb plus adjective. There are two rules. If we have gap after adverb, we use adjective. That means he is very brilliant. Here very is adverb form and adjective brilliant is adjective form. That means if we have gap after adverb, we use adjective, and if we have gap before adjective, look, if we have gap before adjective, we can use adverb as well. That is here, same example. Very. That means if we have he is dot dot brilliant, then we can use he is very brilliant. We can use he is really brilliant, like this. So there are two rules. Before adjective we use adverb. After adverb we use adjective form. So now look at rules number 8. Subject plus adjective plus preposition plus noun. That means if we have gap after subject before preposition, and if there is noun after preposition, in the gap we use adjective form. Now look at the rules again. If we have gap after subject before preposition, and after preposition if we have noun, in the gap we use adjective form. Now look at the example. The manners learned at home help us in future. Here manners subject, at preposition home noun. So look, after subject before preposition and there is noun, in the gap we used adjective form, learned. The manners learned at home help us in future. So now look at rules number 9. Article or noun plus adverb plus adjective plus noun. That means after noun or article and before adjective we use adverb form. Have a look again. After article or after noun and before adjective and noun, if we have gap, we use adverb form. Look at the example. A is article, educated is noun form, adjective form, and man is noun form. So after article we have gap. Article, gap, adjective and noun. So in the gap we have to use adverb form. This is very important, and this is a very important structure for making any kind of sentence. So after article or noun, before adjective and noun, in the gap we use adverb form. A properly educated man is well mannered. Now look at rules number 10. At the end of the sentence or after verb, we use adverb. This is also very important rule for clarifying, because sometimes we have to use adverb form. That is, he was slowly. He slowly is adverb form, and it is at the end of the sentence. The gap is in the is at the end of the sentence, or we can say walk is a verb. So after verb or at the end of the sentence, we use adverb form. That is, he was slowly. Such as we can say, they go to school daily. This kind of sentence we use. So now look at rules number 11 and some appropriate preposition. This is very important, and we have to learn or we have to memorize some important preposition. And this important appropriate preposition will help you in your future life to get admitted into different universities and in your job sector. They will also help. So some appropriate preposition is very important for your whole life. So such as hanker after. First of all, let appropriate preposition means we have to use some specific preposition after some specific word. Hanker after, that means after hanker we must use after. True to, that means after true we must use to. True to. Fade in, that means after fade we must use in preposition. And there are some other appropriate preposition as well. Absorb in, roll in, build up. These are common appropriate prepositions. Build up. So we have to know this appropriate preposition. If you know this appropriate preposition, this will be very helpful for gap filling. So dear students, I have discussed about 11 rules today. So I hope if you understand these 11 rules, you will be able to solve gap filling and you will be able to fill the gaps easily. And before these important rules, I have also discussed about some important points. So I hope you will try to learn these important factors